Hi internet, and welcome to another mount dye video. There is a new mount pack out in Guild Wars 2 today on the 19th. This is just the preliminary. In the description below I do timestamps. I'm going to show you the specials. I'm going to do each mount's going to have a square where I go through all the squares, figure out which one, what it dyes, and some ideas on coloring. I also try to show the special. The Jackal probably has the best special in terms of its little spark. My favorite mount though is the Skimmer. Hands down, if you love the Skimmer, this is the mount. Like, it is so good. It also has a pretty good special too, and I hope that you guys enjoy this. I take around 6 minutes to dye each mount, so I do try to fast forward because I want to make sure that you guys know everything there is to know about the pack so that you can make an informed decision if you like it or not, because you know, pictures might be worth 1,000 words, but video is always better. So I hope you sit back and relax, and let's get started. Okay, so this is the start of the Raptor section. So I'm gonna take each square and I'm gonna make it white, and I'm going to notice what each one does. So the top left one, which I usually call 1, is just the base Raptor. I didn't notice anything if you did like a darker color or lighter color. It works both ways, unlike some of the other mounts. It's not particularly shiny like some of the other packs, so you definitely have a lot more room to figure out what you like. The armor, I think, is probably the best on this. I mean, it just looks really goofy that it has a lot of like the elbow armor, it has the nails, it does the jewelry on the tail. It is very, I don't know, I just think it's comical. There's a lot more for the armor on this than there are on the others. Now the bottom left is just the wrapping. Now on some of the other mounts you can do, they kind of make you do like 1 or 2 particular colors, but this one definitely has a lot more wraps on the tail, around its feet. I didn't see as much depth when I was coloring it later, so you definitely have a lot more options for coloring it. The bottom right corner is the jewelry. Now it is in the helmet part above its face. You get it on the tail, you get it a lot on the feet. It's like each claw, then the knee pads, then the jewelry around its wrist. Behind the saddle actually dyes really well, but for me the Raptor is probably the easiest one to color. I always try to make my Raptors look more like it's in the wild. I'm just picking random colors to make it easier to see. This probably has the most wrapping though, that like each individual one that you can see. Now in a few seconds, I'm gonna let you guys hear a speed up version of the sound because I didn't really notice anything. I also was trying to get the special to show up. Raptors usually have like a very subtle, I don't know, it looks like sweat sometimes. So let me turn off me and you can hear it. Yeah, I don't hear anything different, and I also don't see anything different. I even tried to pause it. I think this is my effect. So I turn, I get an outfit. So if I find something, I'll put it in the comments. I also take still pictures of everything. Okay, so now this is the bulk of the Raptor. We're going to color every single thing. We're going to try to find a good middle ground. Now, what I forgot to say for the one square at a time is that there is jewelry on the neck, and you can definitely see it a little bit easier if you color it differently. I ended up going through a lot of like green. You definitely can do like a darker base and then a lighter armor color. Gold, if you do like a tint of green in it, always looks really good. Don't do yellow on the bottom. But yeah, you want like a good contrast for the mummy wraps, because then you can really see it go through the entire tail. It really has a striking effect on the Raptor. White, I don't know if it stands out a little bit too much. Now the armor also, you can do like a gray or metallic, and you definitely could do a darker, but if you do just one shade lighter, you can see all the intricate details. There is a lot. I get more into it with the bunny because I didn't really realize it with the Raptor, because I was just so stunned with the wrapping that I just kind of I did pink. I always try to do pink. So I don't know, like, I definitely like the green. I ended up doing, I always try to like do every single color idea so that you guys can see it as much as possible. Let me know in the comments if you like having the Raptor in the center and then on the right having the preview panel, because it does make it a little faster for me to put out the video, so I can push apply instead of like zooming in and all that. So just let me know. Red, definitely. I like the white for the wrapping. It seems kind of traditional. I feel more like it's toilet paper. But I think in terms of how much jewelry you get, I think the Raptor has the most, because you get it on the knees and the feet. And I think that's me waving saying I'm going to the next one. So I hope that you guys like the Raptor. See, I am taking all of it off. Okay, so here's the bunny. Now this one has probably the best jewelry, and as a girl we all know that jewelry is very important. So there's the jewelry and then there's the wrapping. The wrapping actually does a really good job of being around all of the armor. And also there's, if you dye it right, you can actually see it a lot in the ears. There is jewelry in the armor on the neck. It's probably the biggest piece is on the neck. And then you get that, like, it looks like a fan. Now I definitely like the bronze look a lot better on this armor. This armor works well with like a gray or bronze or some kind of like light metallic. Now it has armor on its ears, on the neck. The saddle just looks, I think the saddle looks really good on this one. It's roughly the same on all of them, but I like the sides on this one. And then it has it around its ankle. But the toes look so cute. Oh my gosh. It just, oh, I'm just, Now, I am gonna try to, do a sound check. So I do go up to the top of the guild hall, and I am gonna pause it just because I didn't really see, a change in like the base of a normal pack. But I did want to check it anyway, so I'm gonna zoom in, and I do pause here, and it does just have like the lightning. If you do change the color, you'll definitely get something other than this yellow and blue streak, but I did want to show that it does actually have a decent effect if you're falling down. But let's hear the sound. But that was the sound of the bunny. This is gonna be the speed coloring. I try to do different colors. Now, for the bunny, a darker base for the top left-hand corner definitely works. I tried to do monocolor, and one of the colors I absolutely loved is called Gunmetal, and then Lemon. I ended up really liking it a lot. I might even change it back to that because it was. So I try like a lot of different, you know, I start with purple and I go to blue and I try green. Green bunnies are actually really hard to do, but with the armor, I think you can probably get away with it. So if you are like a massive, if you're gonna do like a St. Patrick's Day event, I definitely think that this bunny would have a very good green because of the armor. Don't do yellow. Do not do yellow. Now, I also really like just having a solid brown for the armor. I love this like antique coloring. This lemon just is so great. I'm not really sure on. So the wrapping, the toilet paper for the bunny definitely has more life because it is somewhat loose. As you can see, it's flipping from right where the tail kind of starts. Unlike the Raptor, which you don't really get to see a lot of movement, but the eyes for this, just you can definitely do like an evil bunny. Black and white always is a very good contrast. I would always add a red to that bottom right hand square to get the eyes. But I just love this gunmetal so much, so I'm gonna put that in the description. But I ended up just doing something totally random and adding a like pink. So I hope you guys can forgive me because I totally wanted this to stand out. I wanted to like embrace the wrapping. So just let me know what you guys think about my gunmetal color. And that's gonna be it for the bunny. Now it's gonna be the skimmer is up next. Okay, so this is my favorite skimmer mount ever. You get the armor, you get intricate details on all of the fin, you get the double, you get like the biggest jewelry that I've seen since like, I can't even remember the mount color, but I'm gonna show you Stardust. Okay, so you can compare to see if this is actually like the skimmer. So here's Stardust. Totally cool, right? Yep. You can't dye it very well. Then let's check the last one, which was like Beta. It looks kind of Aztec-y. I have to change the coloring. And this does look cool. But I've never seen so much detail on a skimmer. You get a jewel on its head, you get a jewel on its tail, you get a second jewel, you get one on like every single bit on its fin, on the larger fin. You get armor on the tiny fin that's flapping right now. You get really cool reins that look metallic. They are not cloth, they are real metallic looking reins. You get on the saddle, you get this nice armor and it's moving up and down. You get detailed jewelry on the tail right after your saddle. You get the really nice wrapping, the toilet paper wrapping, but you can dye it. Oh my gosh, you can do light, you can do dark, you can do metallic on the metal, you can do regular color on the, but I love that it can actually take really good dark colors, light colors, any color that you want, the scheme colors look really good. I ended up, so I would recommend, so if you're looking at the squares, the top right square and the bottom left square work really well together if they're like yellow and red, like if they're primary. But the green just looks so good for the jewelry. And so I literally, this is it. Like, I tried to do the coloring. I literally stopped and got my Gil to look at this. I was just so, this is why this video took so long. I was like, oh my gosh, I love everything about this skimmer. I'm gaga. I'm still, like, even in the voiceover, I'm just in awe. There's so much detail for each piece. You can see the lines of the armor. You can see all of the intricate little pieces. It's just, I like the skimmer. I like it. Like, this is gonna make me like the skimmer. Okay, so we are going to move on to the next part. Okay, so you can tell I'm totally geeked out because I didn't do what I normally do. So the bottom right was the jewelry. The top right is the armor. The top left is the skimmer coloring. Now, purple is always really good on skimmers. Just having that, and being a mesmer, I feel very I feel really happy when I get to have like a purple skimmer. But you know, you definitely could do green. The armor just looks so good. I can't even put it into words. I always try to do like a white skimmer. You know, you definitely could, but I like the darker purple personally. I did try to do like a green, and this is a bronze. It definitely works. I left the jewelry white for a really long time. It does show up really well. Red skimmers. You definitely could see it. I'm just like trying a bunch of colors just to see. The purple does really stand out if you do a darker for the armor. I'm definitely gonna have to try it, but I just love the like brown or black on this so much that I'm just in love. Like, once you find that set, you're done. Like, you don't have to color anymore, which is always really exciting once you find it. I try white just to see, and it does definitely pop out. You definitely can see a little bit more of the detail for the armor. But let me know if this actually makes you guys like the skimmer. I mean, this just looks so great. Okay, next. Okay, so this is the top of, or the start of the Jackal. We're gonna do one square at a time. The top left hand is going to be the skin of the Jackal. You definitely want to get like a two-tone color. I definitely would recommend actually starting with white for it because it does have this like mist, and I'm just a personal favorite of that. The top right hand square does the armor. The armor does look very good. There's like it has the knee pads, but on that first leg, on like the shoulder, it has that like wing design. I'm definitely feeling more like Egyptian with this than any of the other ones. The eyes are just so amazing. That bottom right hand corner, you just have this glow. You actually get to see the teeth of the Jackal on this really well. The wrapping, the toilet paper wrapping, is really good. Now, I would recommend doing the wrapping roughly the same color as the Jackal skin. So the left, if you do both of the left corners roughly the same or a monotone color, it works really well, and do like a contrast to the armor. Now the armor piece does have it around its ears. It's probably the most noticeable. It also has its feet. It has like I said, it has the knee pads, it has the shoulder ones, it has the chest, and the saddle is slightly different. It has a little bit more jewelry than the other ones. Let's do a sound check though. Let's actually go up to the top. Now it does have that classic Jackal sound effect. It's always really nice to hear, especially if you're still doing like Path of Fire map completion, which I still need to do on a couple characters. But it does. So I did white. It just looks so great. I mean, you can kind of see it. It starts off really tiny, gets to a nice big explosion. You see all the little pieces go out from the center, and then it just looks so visually appealing that I just had to slow it down and now fall to my death. So I do red so that way you guys can see it. Yeah, it just looks really good. Any color, really. It just looks like blood. And as you can tell, I get to a red-ish color Jackal. I do kind of do like a Christmas thing, but I start with purple. Out of all of this pack, there's usually one mount that you can do kind of like a monocolor, like all purple or all red or all one color. This one definitely works really well. Like I said, the eyes on the bottom right-hand square are like this ghostly hunted color, and it's also the jewelry. So what I would recommend is whatever color you have for the Jackal base, if you don't want to see the wrapping as much, make it the same color. Make it a monotone color, make it either darker. I would go darker because lighter always seems to like show up a little bit better. There is movement in the in this particular wrapping. The toilet paper wrapping has a lot of movement, not as much as the bunny, but definitely more than the Jackal. The armor piece, I don't know, maybe it's just me. It has a lot of things going on with it because it has it on its nose, it has it on the ears, it has it on the knee pads, but I don't know, like the armor doesn't feel like overpowering or as big as it is on the Raptor or as colorful as it is on the other ones. It seems like it fits really well. Okay, now I'm getting to the really cool red. So I found out, and I have all of this in the description. So this is Wrath, and I do a vintage silver, a honey butter, and a mahogany. I can't even talk. Like, this is that pure beautiful Jackal. It has just that look of evil, especially with the eyes and the howl. I tried doing a lighter armor color, it doesn't totally work, but I did ended up going with vintage silver, so it is, I guess it is a lighter than other colors that you could pick. But see how that two-tone red, you definitely can get this, like, you definitely see the movement, and you can get rid of the wrapping to make it look more ominous. Okay, last mount. So this is the Griffin. Now, I like the base of this. I do. For an armor one, this is really good. I don't know if it would live in AB as much as the other one, but I definitely love the idea of this because you actually have armor on the tethered wings. There actually are holes in it. So the left top square is the skin, the right one is the armor, the bottom left are the wrapping. And the wrapping is a lot on like the shoulders of the wings, if that makes sense. But it also is a little bit on the feet. And it doesn't have almost all of the armor is literally its head and a little bit of the saddle. So let me just kind of zoom in. You can kind of see the holes. Let me actually fly. Let me start with that. So I paused it so that way you guys can see the actual holes. So I ended up getting another picture, but I do zoom in on this. You can definitely see the little holes. It feels very awakened. Surprisingly, this is the only one that actually feels awakened. I mean, for the name, you know? So here, I'm gonna put this in the description so that way everyone can see the little pictures. But, so I'm flying to where all the nodes are in the guild hall, right? And then I notice something, and I do pause and I go over it. So you should be seeing this flash, and it starts in the center and then it goes out. It looks really cool. So let's just do it again. So you can only see this if you like. If you slow it down, I'm literally at like 10% to be able to see this, and it's done in like a flash of a second, which is still really cool. I mean, for a special for a Griffin, it is very unique. But let us get into the pretty coloring speed of the Griffin. I do really like blue. And just in case I haven't said this, so for the armor, the jewelry piece on the legs is like a double thing. You can definitely see it because I'm putting in like yellow for the jewels. But it has that Griffin kind of triangle thing also on its leg. The piece that goes around the neck is kind of like the one that they have for the Jackal, but this one's really unique because it does have the armor on the wings, and I think this is the first time that it happens. There has been other armor pieces for the Griffin, but it doesn't do it nearly like this one. And like I've already said, this is the most awakened one out of the pack. A lot of the other mounts definitely feel like it's just like armor or Egyptian, but this is like the awakened. Now the wrapping is on its wing, but what is also really nice is, so you can do a darker color or a lighter color. I tried doing that red that I did with the Jackal, and it's not working. So I usually end up doing like a blue. Oh gosh. Tried to do that statue that I did in one of the other. I tried red. So the wrapping, the toilet paper wrapping definitely has, it's very tight around its neck and on the shoulders, but then it's very loose on behind the saddle. And I actually really like the darker armor piece. It makes it look a little bit more menacing. The eyes make it look really cool in that bottom right hand corner. I did black just to make it, but see, here's my final. So I hope you guys are enjoying this. I am gonna finish off with all the colors. I am gonna put this in the description. So we're gonna start with the Raptor. So it's gonna be Crush, I don't know how to say that, Tangerlin, Permafrost, Violet Tint. The bunny is Midnight Fire, Chalk, Permafrost, and Magneta. And I just love that purple. It's just like a purple red. It's so rich. So, okay. Then for the pancake, which is the Skimmer. Shout out to who first called it a pancake. Yay. Midnight Fire, Butter, Magma, and Blood. And it's just that jewel on the head just looks so great. Again, the Griffin is really the only one that is awakened. This feels like armor. This feels like badass. So now my evil Jackal with Wrath, perfect name. I wonder how they come up with names for dyes and stuff. So it's Wrath, Vengeance Silver, Honey Butter, and Mahogany. It just looks evil. It just resonates with that. I'm definitely gonna have to go help some people get some masteries with the Jackal so I can see that. And then the Griffin is Husk, Midnight Sky, Incandescent, and Sapphire. Now the VIP colors are definitely Lemon and Gun Metal. Even though I don't use it, it definitely shows off the mounts. But let me know what you guys think. But this is not the only dye video that I've done. I'm going to leave a link in the playlist. I've done the last 2K Jackal mount, the Shrine Guardian. That was one of my favorites. I've done every single pack mount skin for the 1600 gems. So I hope you do go check that out. And thanks, guys. That's gonna be me. I haven't even seen the trailer. I literally just bought the mount skins and started making this video. So all the links are in the description. Ada out.